Oh, we might need to do a mini pod tomorrow. It's gonna be peak.
Oh
Or a
man.
watch along would be crazy. Crazy.
Only if we're winning though. If we're losing, I don't want to.
Man, it will be peak for either team, man. It will be peak 4-1
Let's go.
last
Don't
Sunday.
trip.
Hey man, you thought it's stupid for a wise man. For know it all like yourself, you should have known that I should have covered our tracks. Hey man, you thought it's stupid for a wise man. Go ahead and try me, go ahead and try me, go ahead and try me, go ahead and try me.
Good boy, double bust, return.
Yep. Let's go. Are we ready?
Hello,
Are we
hello.
live? Are we ready?
Hello.
Yeah, man.
We live. Don't
Can
trip.
everybody hear
Let's
me?
go.
Hear me?
Yeah, man. I can hear everyone.
Yes. All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Don't Trip. All right. Grown people podcast, right? Grown people on the podcast, grown people listening to the podcast, sometimes acting childish and sometimes sounding like we're arguing, but it's only a debate. We're just very passionate about it. And I'd just like to welcome everyone to the stage. I'm your host. I'm
your host. I'm gone.
Gone.
I'm your host. I'm gone. Yo, welcome to Don't Trip. Introduce myself, Renz, supporting Arsenal, representing every time. Handing it over to Tiny.
Represent. Yeah, myself, Tiny Godfather.
what? How did that drop off like that?
Here we go.
Mad.
Here we go. He's back.
They try to
He's
disrespect me. I didn't even drop the mic. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, myself, Tiny Godfather. Don't trip, Man U. You know my settings already.
Okay, and then we
It's
got
got the Ronaldo shirt, yeah? With the frizzy hair.
nah, it's that.
What's that?
Okay,
What's that?
okay.
2008 one.
Better than them, man. You get me?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right,
I hear
cool.
that.
What Kizzle, if you said your intro, I dropped off for a sec.
Oh no.
Okay.
Kizzle, first time on the podcast. Don't trip. Representing Man United. So, yeah, man. Let's go.
Wicked. All right. So, first things first. All right. So, we've had some technical difficulty. So, what that means is we won't be able to do all the flashy stuff with the stuff because Trimzini has dropped off and he is having some technical stuff, but he's going to be in the kind of back ground, and hopefully things will run as smoothly as possible. So, first things first, we normally start off with a catch up from the weekend. All right, so we'll look at the Premier League results from the weekend. All right, so some interesting results, some that are better than others for different teams. So we'll start off with what happened on the weekend. So we're looking at teams such as Wolverhampton Wanderers. Actually, there was a game on Friday, and that was from Brighton versus Southampton, which was a 1-1. We have Wolverhampton Wanderers against Bournemouth, which, we thought they were turning a corner, but actually they lost to 4-2 to Bournemouth. Nottingham versus Ipswich, which is an exciting 1-0. And then you had, we'll move on to the next one, Crystal Palace versus Newcastle. Interesting game. A player that Arsenal's been heavily linked with, but people have their reservations about because of injury history, actually got injured in the game, and it was 1-1. Brentford blew Leicester away with a 4-1, and then West Ham versus Arsenal. which was brilliant and a bit crazy, which was 5-2. And then the next day we had Chelsea versus Aston Villa, which was 3-0. Really, I think we need to start talking about Villa because that is no wins in 7 or 8, I believe. And they lost 2-0. Tottenham 1-1 against Fulham, bottled it. No surprises. And then you had Man United again with a win. All right, Ruben's first home win, 4-0, slapping Everton comprehensively. And then the big game that everyone thought would, be thrilling and exciting, Liverpool versus Man City. And it was exciting for Liverpool fans because they slapped them 2-0 and they didn't really do anything, right? Tremzini must be like flying, must be happy, must be in the clouds. I think that goes on to the next topic when we start to talk about Liverpool. Now, Liverpool, the team in form. Can Liverpool be stopped? Now, Tremzini is normally our neighbourhood Liverpool supporter, so we don't have any Liverpool supporters on the call. But what does everyone think? Can Liverpool be stopped?
Yeah.
Okay, that was exciting. Anyway,
Listen, I wouldn't be surprised
Liverpool
if Newcastle beat them tomorrow.
Why? Why do you think that?
Back in the days when it was that whole thing of Liverpool, what was it? Newcastle was trying to win the league, and after Newcastle stopped them or whatever, it might be the opposite way around. You get what I'm saying?
I would love to hope. I would love to think so. I genuinely
possible,
would love
man.
to think so. You're right.
Possible.
It is possible. There's 20. How many games are left? 24 games left. 25
and
games
Newcastle's
left.
at home as well, so it's possible, man.
There's 25 games left.
25 games left.
No, it's possible. Personally, I think Liverpool can be beaten. You get me? But
Bournemouth showed us that.
yeah, so it's just a matter of I don't know, man. Everyone has their spells in the season, innit? Where that little dip of form or something, innit?
No
And
injury or something.
yeah, at some point Liverpool's gonna go through some little blip, you get me? And it's just at that time, can everyone else capitalize in it? And is it gonna be for long enough?
Fair point. I think that Liverpool have won it. And I'll tell you why I think they've won it. If Liverpool have a blip of 3 games, yeah, that means the team behind, say for instance, whoever's in second, well, it's Arsenal, isn't it? And Chelsea. They have to win. There's no room for error for anyone else. So they've already got a 3-game cushion. Already, with 25 games to go, 3-game cushion. And any blip that they have, anybody else could have as well. And they've already had blips, if you get where I'm coming from. So I'm not saying it's not possible for them not to just to mess it up, but I think it's highly unlikely. They're showing a lot of character and they're getting the rub of the green, especially with the result against Arsenal. I'll tell you that for free.
Cool. Personally, my take on this is because there's so many games left. I think that they are going to lose. They are going to slip up. It's just a matter of 2 things. One, who they slip up to, because if Liverpool lose to Leicester, it doesn't make a massive difference to Arsenal or Chelsea or Man U. In fact, it doesn't make a difference. What makes a massive difference is if Liverpool lose to Arsenal or Chelsea or anyone in and around that top 6, like that's going to make a massive difference because that is 3 points lost and 3 points gained. Because
One sec, can I just ask you something? If they lost to Leicester and Arsenal and Chelsea won, wouldn't that be the same thing as them beating Liverpool?
Yeah.
No. So the difference is, right, is if you lose to Arsenal, that means you win, you gain the 3 points. They could lose to Leicester and we could still lose.
I asked you if Arsenal won.
Of course, it's 3 points gained, right? It's both 3 points gained. But what I'm saying is do you lose to those people in and around you? Because if you lose to those people, they gain on you automatically. right? It doesn't
Yeah, no, I
matter
get that.
about any other results. It matters about how that top six battle. And what we found in recent years is most people, it's about that top six battle. If you can win that top six battle, you're going to finish in the top six. All right. Doesn't always technically work out that, but the winners always normally dominate those games, right? They don't lose too many of those games, and they win the games that they're meant to win. Where Arsenal have slipped up is we've not won the games we're meant to win.
Villa, Fulham,
right?
not nobody around us, but
Yeah,
Villa was
that's
definitely
true.
around us, right? And Fulham wasn't. But the point is that we in the first half of the season is where we fucked up, right? And that's where actually is a bit of confidence for me, for Arsenal, for Man City, for anyone, because if you look at Arsenal's form, end of last season is very similar to the form of where Liverpool are right now. Like they'd lost one, they'd drawn one, and they've won the rest. And Arsenal were in that form, I think from January to April or something like that, until we lost to Villa. We were in that form essentially. So what happens on the second half of the season when you have to play all these teams at home, when they're not at home, right? There's numerous teams that they have to play away from Anfield. Those teams are going to be a different team. So Man United is going to be a different team the second half of this season. Arsenal are going to be a different team the second half of the season. I think even Chelsea will be a different team. And I think it will be, they've got other things that potentially might play in the mind, because the more competitions you're in, the more you're really relying on your squad, the more you're stretched, the more these things. I think Arsenal will fall out of a competition. All right. I don't know which one will fall out of first, but I think we'll fall out of one, and then that'll give us more of a focus. What did you say?
You know what he said? He said FA Cup, bro.
Oh, what? Are we playing you lot?
You lot
Yes, Arsenal versus Man United.
Okay. Oh, so what? You're saying you're going to beat us?
They weren't saying that yesterday in the Madness group. I tell you that for free.
But I'm saying, out of all the cups, you wouldn't mind coming out of that one. Out of all the cups, you wouldn't mind coming out of that one.
Yeah.
I heard a man say, Arsenal, please play the youth team.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, play the youths then, blood. The youth,
No one over 25.
Yeah, but I think the thing is with Liverpool, I think the good thing that they have is they have their core players fit, and they have enough of their core players fit, right? And the players that have had to deputize, like Keller, has been amazing. Like he's been amazing. Like it's not like when they had Adrian, like he didn't deputize in the same way that Alisson did. And when they had Adrian, I think it was last season, and he'd got injured, they lost, I think, one or two of the games that he'd been out for. So those moments make a difference. Like if they were to lose Salah, yes, the other players are good, but they would lose that goal threat. If they were to lose Konate, it's not which they did. It's not as important as losing that Van Dijk. So if you can keep your core fit and have suitable people to deputize, I think they do it.
So is Arsenal's squad just not good enough yet then?
Well, no, I wouldn't say that it's just not good enough. I'd say that we lost our core players. Not that the squad isn't big enough, because the thing is
no, not big enough. I said good enough.
No, I don't. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all.
Okay. Nah, because like
I talk about core players.
The last 2 seasons, you lot have finished above Liverpool, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Liverpool haven't got no new players or anything.
True.
Yes, you're absolutely right. They haven't got any new players, but do you know what they've got? They've got such a bond and such a unit that they said, do you know what? We don't even need to tune it up. We're going to go again, run it again. And this is what we got. This is what we were supposed to do last season. That's what I believe Liverpool came into the season looking like. The new manager was motivation enough, because he's saying, boy, do you know what? If you're not good enough, you're going to be on the chopping block. That's what it come like. Do you get what I mean?
So is Arteta not good enough then?
What's your opinion on it? Because the way your question is structured, it's like it's a factual thing. Like, is it not just opinions?
I'm just asking the question, bro.
Okay, cool. So,
but last season and this season are 2 different seasons. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So
To
it's as
answer your
simple
question,
as that.
to answer your question,
No, but if your team, if you're
this season we'll find out if Arteta is good enough.
okay, no, because I'm looking at it as if your team's been better than Liverpool for the last 2 seasons,
Mm.
if they're still the same players. Cool, they got a new manager. I hear that, but
Mhm.
if your team was better, what changed this season?
I wouldn't say we were better than Liverpool last season, to be
You,
fair, as Liverpool were running
You
things
finished
and then they
above
had
them.
to.
You,
All
you,
right,
you
can I just
finished above
respond?
them. So in terms of
Okay, but is it not my opinion? Am I not allowed to have an opinion still? What I'm trying to say to you is this.
Mm.
I
but
don't feel
you're
that we were
fighting a fact though.
necessarily.
Sorry, go on.
I don't necessarily feel that we were much better than Liverpool last season. I feel that what we done the season before, as in the lose consecutive games, that happened to them. Like if they kept form for the remainder, they would have won the league. Furthermore, finished above Arsenal. They would have actually won the league. So I just reckon it was a little drop off to at the tail end of the season that put them where they were. In all honesty, because
Man United, man.
they were actually, if you Man United then, but they were actually the front runners to win the league. It's
Mhm.
only because if when you really break it down, people want to say Arsenal, but it weren't Arsenal. It
Mhm.
was Liverpool. It was only in the latter we can break it down. It was most probably, I'd say around 10 games. I wouldn't even say 10 games, but I'd say,
But
for its sake, I'd say 10 games. So it wasn't
Mhm.
really Arsenal, to win. They had the chance to creep in and they didn't do it properly. They didn't do it. Do you get what I'm trying to
Mhm.
say? But it was Liverpool's league last season.
Mhm. And to follow up with that, the, the 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 point swing, they were 5 points ahead and ended up 7 points behind the leaders. All right, so they dropped off. Now, personally, my personal opinion with Liverpool is that they weren't playing amazing football, which kind of coincided with the announcement of Jurgen Klopp leaving. All right. There was like a drop off. Salah was injured for a small period of time, and they were relying a lot of times on some like individual moments to carry them out of games, which managed to do it sometimes. But then it was like they kind of lost their way, and they had draws, they had some losses. When they lost against Crystal Palace, like at Anfield, it was really weird. It was like there was too many bad individual performances, like in that game. From what I remember, I think like Petro missed an easy chance. Luis Diaz, Nunez was missing chances. You know, like there were just too many individual mistakes, right? But it wasn't that they were playing terrible. There's too many. Whereas we were clicking into gear, was really clicking into gear. Everything kind of made sense, and we just dropped off for one game.
Didn't City have a few games in hand as well? So it looked
Yeah,
like they were lower than they were, and then they still had. I think it was like 2 games in hand that they had, and during that time, Liverpool definitely fell off.
yeah, exactly that. And this is what happens, right? The thing is City are, and there was a period of time Liverpool were like that, but the City are the only team that you know that they could win 10 to 15 games on the bounce, right? It's so difficult to do that and maintain your squad and maintain the quality and maintain your team. And we dropped off. Like it felt like we were running out of energy. Like even in the game we lost against Aston Villa, in that game it was like it was a flat game, and Aston Villa like they went at us and they capitalized and they beat us. And it's even like after the first goal went in, we were still flat. It was no urgency. We lost the game, and I spoke to Aston Villa fan after, and he said because after that was the last game where Aston Villa, I think they had a run of like 5 games where they didn't win, and where they drew, they lost, they got knocked out of Europa League or the Conference League, and it meant that, do you know what I mean? They fell off as well. They put so much energy, and we didn't have enough. But to get to kind of move on to the next point, because I think we've kind of dwelled on the Liverpool point. I think we are looking at a Liverpool squad that is clicking. I think we're looking at a team that is really believing in the new manager's tactics, and I think that they are somewhat kind of being invigorated by the idea that people are expecting them to fall off.
They still are, aren't they? They're still expecting for Liverpool to fall off.
They will,
Yeah.
man. They will.
Yeah, but I'm saying your squad is
Yeah,
like,
they haven't had their blip yet.
Nah,
They
but
haven't had their
from
injuries.
from
They
what
haven't. Yeah. Well, they have had injuries actually, because we've had one of the best keepers in the world out for a good few weeks now. So I don't know what they. I don't know. You know, we're really
Well,
fortunate.
your current
from
keeper's
what I've
playing
been
like he's one of the
hearing,
best keepers in the world too.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
from what I've been hearing is the amount of points that you lot are ahead
Yeah.
at this point, no
Yeah.
one's lost in it.
No one's
The
ever
league.
lost the league with that many points. That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Newcastle,
So
oh yeah, Newcastle had 8
from what
points.
I'm
Yeah.
kind of seeing is everyone's expecting Liverpool to fly to the finish. You get me?
You do?
I think that's also
Yeah.
because no one else is as consistent as Liverpool at the moment. Because the thing is if you're being chased by someone as consistent as you, then it's like, don't drop off. And if you drop off, you're in trouble, right? But where Man City have not won in 7, where Arsenal had a blip where we didn't win in 4, right? It means that actually you've created a gap where you can be a bit more relaxed about it. You can, not be fully relaxed and laid back about it, because even Arne Slot spoke about Arsenal with an 8-point lead. Obviously, there was games in hand and stuff like that. But with the 8-point lead, you can lose it. An 8-point lead is 3 games, and we've all seen what happened to Man City.
Well,
but we're not expecting it to happen to Liverpool.
Yeah.
I personally think that we don't rate our teams enough then, because I think Man United can beat
Right.
Liverpool. I think Arsenal can beat Liverpool. I
Yeah,
think
I
Man
do.
City can beat. There's teams that can beat Liverpool.
I
So
was
Yeah,
gonna.
that's
I agree with
more
you,
than
but
the 9 points. But
Yeah.
I
on
agree
the
with
other
you.
side, can everyone else win the rest of their games? And that's
Yeah.
what it's on.
Exactly.
The question.
That's it.
The question that I was gonna ask. So the question I was gonna ask was, because we've said, can Liverpool be stopped? What does it take to stop Liverpool? What do you guys actually think? Because I know I don't want to stretch it on for too much longer, but I think I think we haven't spoken about. We can speak about what Liverpool can do wrong, but I want to know what the other teams can do to actually infiltrate or to get Liverpool falling off.
Kids.
First of all, injure Salah.
Kids ain't said nothing.
I was thinking, when you said that, it reminded me. It even gave me a flashback from when Arsenal decided to take out Rodri. It's fucking awful. Changed the whole season.
Hey, we saying there's no
Yeah,
AFCON
but
this year, no?
that happened with what's his name?
It's in December next year.
Pickford. When Pickford done Van Dijk.
With Van Dijk. Yeah. But they did it. But they actually took the mick from the start of the game. I think it was within the first 30 seconds they went for Rodri. So it felt like, even if it wasn't intentional, it felt like there was some form of, there was
man. Just kick up Salah, man. He'll have to take a medical rest.
Ignore Trimmer. He's talking rubbish. Yeah, answer the question. Yeah, he's not answered the question.
Sorry.
Yeah. So
have I been asked? Yeah, what we said. Sorry.
Yeah, because you can finish this off as a Liverpool fan, but kids,
Okay.
go for it. Kids, can you hear me?
Keith is frozen. He's frozen.
No, I can see him blinking.
Is he?
Give it to me.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
It looked like he froze.
No, I can see him blinking. That's the reason I didn't
Bruh.
blink.
What you saying? What's the question?
I'm saying, what do you think? Like, how does a team stop Liverpool?
Yeah, what did they do?
I think like every other team should just go into every game thinking they should win, man. I think definitely at Anfield, that's probably the trickiest one. But like I said, tomorrow's game, when they're away from home, I think teams got to just take advantage of that, man.
Isn't our away form better than our home form?
I don't know, but I know a lot of people fear Anfield though. Anfield's a bit techie still, but away from home, I don't think Liverpool are that great. But you said, I don't know, they might have a good away record, but
our away record's better than our home form because we lost.
So you ain't lost at Anfield.
No, you concede more goals, but I think you score more goals away.
They lost 2 this season.
Yeah.
You've only lost to Nottingham Forest,
Yeah,
and that was
Forest,
at
that's
home.
it.
Okay. Shame.
That's it, yeah. So that's why I said so the away form is better. But I'm thinking to myself, obviously, we've been watching the games. What does it take for everybody else, or what does it take for a particular team, apart from Tiny's theory of injuring Salah, who goes quiet sometimes anyway? What else would it take?
Overrun the midfield. I don't think the midfield's the greatest.
They don't have to be. They're just workers. They're part of a system.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if I feel like if you outnumber Liverpool's midfield, I think you have a good chance.
Okay.
Kerry, yeah. Anyone else want to add to that? I'll say a point and then trim. Anyone else?
I'm really happy with the question.
So, personally, I think Southampton gave an example of how to beat Liverpool, and I think the only thing that overcome Southampton was Liverpool's quality, not about how they played. And I think like we'll use Man City as an example, right? They have arguably one of the best squads in the league, but
tiring squad.
But if you go at Man City, if you go at them and you believe you can score, you'll create chances. It's just, do you score in those chances, right? And it happens season after season, and people end up getting cold feet, or they get overrun and they lose the steam because they run out of steam from trying it too often. But you just need to take those chances, and there are chances in there. And I think like Arsenal showed you can score. Nottingham Forest, so you don't need to score loads of chances. Like, you just need one, and you need to defend well. I think that if you run the risk of overloading the midfield, then they'll just pass it around to the sides. Their wingers are their top goal scorer. Like, I don't think we need to worry. If I was anybody, I would leave the midfield a bit more, because I would prefer that, Gravenberch or McAllister, even who are good strikers of the ball, I'd rather them have the ball than Salah, because that guy's going to punish you. If Diaz, they're going to punish you. So personally, that's what I would do. But you, as a Liverpool fan, what do you think? How can your team be?
I think the way to beat Liverpool is unlocking, like you said about overrunning the midfield. I think that's really important. But you've got to get Van Dijk to move around. You have to dislodge him, so that, because that's where, if we look at him in past seasons when he wasn't doing his best, making him unsure of what he's doing. Whenever he's in control, that's it. And everybody's shook anyway. They don't really go at him like that. You get what I'm saying? But if you can get the ball close enough to him, but move it around, and then he leaves that gap, the other three don't really have that command. So I think it's getting him to either move a little bit forward or to the left or the right, leaving that gap. We saw it before in a couple of games when the gap between Konate and Van Dijk was so wide, because they weren't playing that close together. We were losing a lot of goals, and they were mucking about, a lot of ping pong in the box. You got to play in our box as well, of course. You got to be able to play there. But it seems like for some reason we're somewhat a lot more composed, not rushing to kick the ball away, all of that stuff. So if you want to beat Liverpool, you definitely have to get overrun the midfield or dislodge the shape of the team. We're really good at keeping our shape.
Yeah, really good. So moving on to the next topic, and the reason why that is very interesting is when we talk about the couple of teams that have managed to upset Liverpool. Arsenal was one of those teams. It was a draw, but it was one of those games where you needed a bit of magic, and Arsenal were missing one of their magic players, Odegaard. So now, when we look at it, and we talked about squad, we talked about depth, and Saka, I think that was his No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was a different game. But Odegaard, his impact on Arsenal, had he been missed? And how would you kind of describe his impact? Being an Arsenal fan, Renz, will start with you, and the rest of you looking out from the outside in.
I'd say he's definitely been missed. Like his leadership, the style of play that Arsenal have played is clear to see from the games that he missed. You could see that even if Arsenal gritted out a victory, like the performance wasn't as fluid and didn't look as fancy as it looks with him when he is in the team. So he's definitely been a big part of, in my opinion, of the little blip Arsenal had. Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely a big impact player for Arsenal. Well, not a big impact player, but he's definitely a big player that has a big impact in Arsenal's play.
Cool. And I'm going to ask you a question, which will open up to the rest of the floor. Where do you think Arsenal would be if Odegaard was fit the whole season?
Probably same position.
Most probably the same position, possibly. Yeah, I think some of the only things that could have made us like be in first place was some of these refereeing decisions that have been a bit crazy. Like, so I think that's been more of a stumbling block than Odegaard in itself. Yeah, some of these refereeing decisions have been crazy. But I won't get into that. But yeah.
Cool. All right, open up to the floor. What do you lot think?
I think Odegaard is probably the most important player for Arsenal, to be honest. Like, he makes them tick. You can see the way he craves the ball. Most things do kind of start from him. Like, it's just whether or not he stays there for the next couple of seasons, because eventually, he's going to cut out. He's got to try and win some trophies, man. He's got to win something. So he can't always be that nearly team.
That's a possibility being at Arsenal, because I definitely think he can win. There's cups that they can win.
Unless it's the FA Cup, I don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, we know who our first victim is.
I think Odegaard is very pivotal to Arsenal, but we have to remember how amazing Arsenal's defense was. So without him, Arsenal still shouldn't have.
Arsenal's defense ain't been great this season, though.
It's not about the defense but they do have a great defense. They had the best partnership last season, and I don't know what changed. And I don't think it should have been a good enough reason for Odegaard not being in the team, considering he plays in midfield, to elite goals.
Yeah, but that's just saying, that's like you've got a whole team and we're going to exclude 6 players and just talk about 5 or 4. That makes no sense. Defense is accumulative, bro. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And in all honesty, people ask questions about Martinelli and so forth, and Martinelli's a part of that defense. Saka's a part of the defense. Ajax is a part of the defense.
In defense.
Yeah, but that's
it's neither here or there. What I'm trying to say is the fact that 1 second. Let me just say this point.
Thank you.
All of them play accumulatively, defense and attack. That's why Gabriel gets so many goals. Is he a striker? No, he's not. But it's a team game, and Arsenal as a team, as a whole, they had a great defense. They played accumulatively as a great defense. Their attack. We went to Sporting out there the other day, went to West Ham. Various goal scorers. Do you get what I'm trying to say? They do it as a team. So I hear what you're trying to say, but I don't necessarily agree with it.
Yeah, I don't mind if you don't agree, because basically what it was is being able to look at the partnership. No one was speaking about how defensive Odegaard was when you lot were doing well. I wasn't talking about that.
We were. So the other thing as well, right, is what we definitely were, because maybe not between us, but as Arsenal fans and commentators were talking about it, because what you don't realize is that Odegaard, out of wins the ball in the attacking third more than most players, right?
Yeah.
So what it means is they don't get to our defense. They don't get to our midfield because he's won it the ball high. All right. He leads at press. It means that the chances you create are less likely to hurt us, and it means that the defenders are sweeping up opportunities and stuff that are less likely to hurt us. The other thing that's different about the Arsenal defense this year, which is a common theme, and why we keep going through this, is that our right back and our left back position has been flip-flacking. It's been flip-flacking. Like Timber came back from the injury, brilliant, started on the left, right? Calafiori, like he just came into the game, first game against Man City, cool, he started on the left. Timber was on the right. Ben White has been playing on the injury, so much so that he's ended up having to get an operation, right? We've had injuries, we've had red cards, we've had all these other things, right? Which has meant that our defense has shifted. Our defense wasn't shifting as much before, right?
Yeah.
And if we look at the team now, if Odegaard is your leader, your captain, and we've seen it even with a Bruno Fernandes for Man United, right?
Yes.
People can talk about his style of play, whatever, but he's so important to how he leads the team and creating and lifting the team forward and all these other things. Like other teams will be like that. When they're at their best, they rely on one person to trigger things. So him not being there is massive. Yeah. Now the other thing is teams worry about Odegaard more than they worry about Trossard, more than they worry about Havertz in the 8, more than they worry about Rice in the 8. No one really, not that they don't care, but that they're not worried about his vision, his passing, all these other things. Like so his impact of not being there personally was massive. Like massive. Because when we look at the bigger picture and we look at actually, do you know what? We lost games, we drew games, and when you needed a leader, when you needed someone to take things by the scruff of the neck, it just wasn't him.
So who is your vice president?
Can I get a word in there? Because I've been getting locked off since Renz was talking. It's been like this sounds like a lot of Arsenal squad's not good enough. If one player goes, your team's a mess. Oh, I can't even hear these excuses. This just sounds crazy to me from Arsenal fans. You have a good enough squad to for one player to be injured, and you lot can still click. You get me? Like, I get. Like, everyone's part of the structure and tactics and all of that you're doing, but don't all of your squad train? If one person goes out, man can't do the defensive work that other guys do.
Can I ask you a question then?
Wow.
No, ask you a question, right?
I don't know if I'm being harsh.
I thought Tiny said something and then you was meant to rebuttal that.
No,
as opposed to asking him a question.
I'm going to ask a question, right?
Okay.
So I understand what you're saying. Like, I get it, right? In principle, one player shouldn't unravel what you have, right? But we've just seen that with the Premier League champions. It's happened with the Premier League champions. Arguably,
not really.
One of the best squads. One second. With the Premier League champions, just Rodri alone. When he doesn't play, with the same squad, season after season, if he don't play, right, they basically lose majority of the time, right? So he's integral. No one talked about their squad until now. There's 6-7 losses, and they're looking and thinking, actually, this guy's shit, this guy's old, right? But what I'm not saying you're wrong. So I'm not saying you're completely wrong. But
I'm just waiting for the question. It's all right.
One player can make a difference to how you play, and one player can be the difference between you winning in those tough moments, because that quality is irreplaceable in that key part of the pitch.
I hear what you're saying, but Rodri's been injured in other seasons, and Man City still won the league. So I get what you're trying to
in a row.
Yeah, but the thing is, right? The thing is we don't have. So there's one of the questions, and other question is Saka world class, right? But now what we have is, when we look at Odegaard, he's one of the people that we might consider world class. We might put in that bracket, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Man City have had all these players who have won consistently with Rodri. So they'll be like,
Yes.
nah, don't worry, we got this, right? We've got a team that's not won, right? And needs players like Odegaard. We need an Odegaard in our team to carry
Uh,
us through.
But you
Every
just
game.
flip the excuse then, bro. You just flip the excuse because you before
Really?
Man City. I don't know.
No, I'm
Before
saying,
Man City can lose one player and it's all of this. Like I think Man City's just going through a period of whatever in it. With or without Rodri, I think they'll be losing games. But
Like,
with or
that's just
with
that's
Rodri.
just my opinion on
yeah,
Yeah,
the.
we will
Huh?
be. Yeah.
City's
I
trouble's
think
deeper than
even
just
if they
Rodri,
had
man.
Rodri right now, they'll be losing games, bro. There's something
Still.
not right at Man City at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay, we're
Whether
going to talk
it
about that
be
in a second. We're going to talk about Man
whether
City
it
Yeah.
be
in
their stuff,
the next topic. Sorry.
Yeah. But we
I
like
still need to
whether
go back to
don't want
go back to the
to
Arsenal
talk
part, and
too
we
much
haven't
about
spoken
it.
about Saka.
We're going to talk about
no,
Saka and then we're going to
I'm only replying to the question I
okay.
was asked, innit? You
Yeah,
said
yeah,
a
yeah.
load of things about Man City, and I'm just explaining how like, I'm looking at it. Do you get me? So
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
personally, I don't think even if they had Rodri at the moment, that it would make a difference in terms of them having this spell that they're having, innit?
Yeah,
I
the
don't
players
know
are
if it's
doing really
off the
bad.
pitch antics
Play,
or on the pitch antics, but City's going through some stuff. Players that we've seen do some amazing things over the last few seasons are
they've lost.
playing terrible, bro. Do you get me? Like, so I don't think
Ronaldo,
it's anything
Silva.
to do with Rodri missing personally. Do you get me? So
Okay,
for
So what do you
me,
think it
it's
is?
no.
I
We
I
can
don't
talk
know. I
about
think maybe some off the pitch antics and stuff because they're going through the issues with the financial fair play and all of these charges that they got and stuff. It may be
Yeah.
something to do with them. Like if you remember when Chelsea had a whole heap of antics around them, their players was a mess. They couldn't play football. Do you get me? So it might be something to do with that.
Okay,
We're all
cool. So
gonna come to our own conclusions,
we're gonna come back to
but
that because there's a lot to be said on that. We're gonna
Yeah,
just wrap up
mm,
the Saka thing and
yeah,
then
yes.
we'll
yeah,
come
go
back
on.
to the next topic. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
So in reference to Saka now, so first of all, I think what's important to establish, right, is there isn't a set way of defining world class. But what I'd like to understand is we're going to discuss is Saka world class, all right? But also, what do you how do you define world class? Like, how does anyone in this group define world class?
You got to do it on the European stage, man.
Okay, cool. Anything else?
And,
Is that it?
and,
Just,
and,
just on the
and
European stage?
domestically. But
So,
If you do
Now,
it on the
you can
European
mess up in
stage,
your league, but
doesn't that make you European class?
finish what you're saying, kids. Go on.
no, I'm saying like you can mash it up in your league, but
Yeah.
you might not necessarily be seen as well. Remember, the world class, it's the world, isn't it? A lot of people might not necessarily look at Saka as one of the best players in the world, kind of thing, because he's
Okay.
only doing it in England. I reckon, like, if he does what he does consecutively in the Prem, in the Champions League, I think 100% he's on road to being like world class. But I don't think he's there yet.
Interesting. Okay. Cool.
Because the
All
big
right.
games, like you like what I said before, I would like to see him literally every single game, like goal or assist. If he does that, well, at the moment he's doing that. But if he does it like in the big games, like say he turns up tomorrow, you'd be like, right, cool, he's stepping up. Do you get what I'm saying?
Interesting. Cool. All right. So, Tiny, what would define world class to you?
Boy, there's a lot. Got to win some trophies, winners' medals, consistency. You got to be more or less the majority of your games. You have to be performing high level. And like Kizzle said, it has to be on the world stage. So it has to be club, country, Champions League, all of that stuff. Do you get me?
Okay.
And
So would you
in terms
say
of
he's world
Saka,
class?
I don't think. I think Saka's on the road. I've said it from previous. I don't know. I'm not sure if we had this on a previous pod, but he's not going to become world class in this one season. You get me? So, for me, he's still in the same position as he was the last time we had this conversation, but he's on the road to becoming world class because Saka is very consistent and he's got better and better as the seasons have gone on. But
Yeah.
he hasn't won anything. And yeah, for me, world class, you need that little bit extra. And I just haven't seen it yet.
So
Interesting.
you,
All right, Renz, go for it.
he needs to add trophies to be world class from your stance, Tony.
Pardon?
The only thing that's missing is the trophies. Is that what you're saying?
I didn't say
From
the
Saka
only thing
being
that's
world class.
missing. There's
I'm asking
there's a
you.
bit of,
It's a question.
no, I'm saying that's what I said. I didn't say that. I said
Okay, what is
trophies is
missing
part
from
of
him
it.
being? What is missing from Saka specifically being world class?
So
In your
he's,
opinion,
he needs that little bit extra. I don't know what it is in particular that he's missing. Trophies is one of them, but he needs that little something extra in it that stands out from the rest for me.
Saka needs
okay.
to. All right, if we could have called him currently, if we could have called Saka world class, those games when Odegaard wasn't filling in, Saka should be able to do that. That should have been his time to step up. And world class players, because it might be funny, but world class players are the ones that pull it out of the bag. Am I wrong?
Mbappe's world
I
class. What did
agree.
he do at Liverpool?
He didn't pull it out of the bag, but he has done time
But he's
after
had the
time.
moments like the World Cup and that
So
we've
has
seen it.
Saka.
Yeah, I don't
Saka
know.
ain't had no moment
Okay.
like that.
I'm just saying this just sounds a bit contradictory, but okay.
I'm just saying.
Like,
that
is Harry Kane?
Where
Is Harry
did
Kane world
Saka do
class?
that, bro?
Is Harry
I
Kane
would
world
ask-
class?
Where did Saka do that?
I've asked, is Harry Kane world class?
Yeah.
Show me his trophy.
No, but where did Saka do it?
Bruv, he's got how many
I've got-
golden boots?
That's individual.
Yeah.
Fine.
That's what he's
And,
doing.
and
though.
that's the
He's
same
Yeah, but-
thing as individual
Top goal
Saka's doing stuff.
never been
But
number one
that's
at what he's
that's
doing.
fair enough.
But yeah, I don't class Harry Kane. I don't class Harry Kane as a world class player. I class Harry Kane as a world class striker, as in he's just a shooter. He scores goals
If
for
that's
fun.
his position, that means
Haaland.
he's a world class player.
Like he's one of the best strikers out there, and that's why I'd
So he's
say
world class
Harry
then.
Kane world class.
Yeah,
You get me?
world class.
Like
Cool. All right.
in
Fair enough.
in everyone's bracket that watches football will know that Harry Kane's a top shooter. Do you get me? And that's why
Okay.
he's in that world class bracket.
Cool. Renz,
I
we'll
can't
come
say the
back
same
to you.
about Saka.
Renz, we're gonna come back to you. Trimmer. What
Yes,
do
my
you
brother.
what do you consider
Like I-
like
like-
how do you
like
define
I
world
said,
class?
regarding the world class situation regarding Saka, in the past I've mentioned saying that I expected more from him. Now he has actually stepped up. He's done a lot more. You get what I'm saying? But then for the dilemma that you guys were currently going through not currently now, I feel like you turned the corner because Odegaard's come back. But I'm more likely to say that Odegaard's world class as opposed to Saka.
Yeah,
Would you agree?
Interesting.
I agree with that.
So
What is
that
funny-
maybe that's the
But I
barometer.
wouldn't. But
Maybe that's the
personally, I wouldn't even say Odegaard's world class yet.
Yeah, but that's what
Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to say. I said he's more than likely to say he is, as opposed to the young prince. You get
Now,
what I'm saying?
What's funny about this whole world class, whether it's Saka, obviously we're talking about Saka right now, but there isn't, nobody's right or wrong because there isn't one way of measuring world class, right? But without knowing, there seems to be some level of contradiction. Like even the idea where we're saying Odegaard is world class, he scores less goals, gets less assists, has not won anything, but still is in that bracket, right? Now we talk about. I know. I'm just saying, right? I know Renz was going to bring it up, but I'm going to refer to it. Like we talk about Harry Kane because of his individual. He's won the Golden Boot. But we also referred to winning things, which he hasn't done, and Saka has, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying like Saka is better than Harry Kane, by the way. But what I'm saying is actually it's very hard to kind of pinpoint what world class is. Personally,
Okay, so
there's so many different elements. Definitely.
Wait a minute, guys. Let's look at his positioning then, if we want to try and look at that. But maybe if we looked at, would we consider Mo Salah as world class?
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. right? We'd call him
Okay.
world class.
So is he close to Mo?
Well,
Has he
statistically,
come up? Have you,
Not goal wise.
statistically, if we look at what he was doing at
at
the same
his
age,
age, he scored more goals.
pardon?
At his age, he scored more goals than Mo.
Yeah.
When Mo was at that age, Mo wasn't even close.
Yeah.
Yes,
No,
100%, right?
but when Mo was that age, he wasn't considered as world class. So the argument's flawed.
Yeah.
No, but the point is, right, is if you're saying is someone is referred to or grouped with someone who we align with and say this person is world class, right?
Yes.
We've got to say there's some things about them that they're
Yes.
doing that puts them close to it. They might not be the same level, right?
No.
But it's putting them close to it. Now, the thing with Saka, right, is when you look at Saka and we look at people who we'd be like Lamine Yamal's world class, right? I'm not saying that he is, right? People might say actually he's too young, he's
very
too big, but
talented,
he looks like he's going to be world class. They might say, okay, this other player, like he's Rodrigo, he's world class. I know I'm not saying this. Someone might say that, right? But when we look at people who we can all kind of agree is world class, the people that are closest to him that are doing those numbers in that position is Saka. So that's why we're having the conversation. We're only having the conversation because of actually what he's doing. So we have to say, okay, cool. Aesthetics. I don't think he'll ever win aesthetics because of the way he plays, right? He's not a flair player. He's not going to win aesthetics. Like to Tiny's point, he doesn't have that thing where it looks like he's going to do something, or he doesn't have that thing. He does basic actions, which are very effective.
Very fast.
Very simple, right? Very simple. He's a great at decision making, great at protecting the ball, right? And even though he doesn't look like he's technically great, his delivery is obviously good because of how many assists he gets from corners, from free kicks, these aspects, right?
Great penalties.
He's good at penalties, right?
Yeah.
So I'd ask you, and personally, I believe that I started to look at, does someone have to win stuff to be called world class? Now, the thing is, the only debate about that is that winning something is a group thing.
Yes.
And playing and your stats, scoring, assists, all those things is an individual thing, right?
Yeah.
So that's why there are people who are not world class that are won everything, right? There's people who we don't look at and say, Kyle Walker's world class. I don't know, but he's won the Champions League, he's won 6 Premier Leagues, he's been a main starter.
Said he couldn't do it without him.
Right? They could do
There was
it.
A time. I think there was a time when he was in that bracket.
Facts.
Yeah, not now.
Okay, cool. But he was just an example, right?
Last season he was.
Do you have to win something to be the best player on your team?
So then does
to be honest, the world class kind of bracket, is the world class kind of bracket is more if you're there and abouts the best in that position at the time, innit? Do you get me?
Okay.
Because Harry Kane may not have the trophies. Harry Kane may not have the trophies, but he's up there with the best strikers all around the world.
Right winger in the world right now? Who's the best right winger in the world right now? I know the answer.
Probably Salah.
Cool. All right.
Who's the top 3?
Who's the second best?
Think about the leagues. Yeah, I guess Saka might be in there still.
Saka's up there,
who would you put in that same bracket?
He would either be the in the Prem. What are we saying within the whole of?
Anyway, you can talk about the.
Are we saying everywhere? Rafinha.
Cool. Rafinha, and then who else?
Who is there, man? I don't even know. Who's the right winger?
Anybody but Saka.
So
no, again, I say Saka's on the road to becoming a world class.
Who's the top 3? Who's the top 3?
I just don't think he's there at the moment.
Okay, cool.
All right, but who's your top 3 right wingers?
Based on what you said, right? Is what they need to be the best in their position right now, right, or at that time. And we're talking about the best 3. We've without saying Saka's name, because he was the only other person that was referred to. If Salah, then Rafinha, and probably Saka. So at the moment, right, he's in the
Yeah,
bracket.
but
Now,
no. Let me stop you just 1 second. Saka is a bracket below their two names for
why
me.
is he a bracket
Bracket
below?
below
Why is he a
Rafinha.
bracket
How
below
many
them
goals
two?
has
Yeah, I
Because
Rafinha
wouldn't.
they
I
got?
wouldn't
do
say
the
Villa
extras.
Rafinha.
No.
No.
You see the extras. Rafinha's a skills man and all of them things. It's for me personally. They're the little extras that Saka
So
doesn't
has
do.
Salah
You get
got
me?
bare step
Like
overs?
no, but he
No.
scores crazy amount
Salah's,
of goals,
yeah,
bro.
Salah's just
What's
more
that got to
direct,
do with
though, isn't it?
anything? What's that got to do with anything? Salah is just so
Ah,
sharp. Like,
He's just a shooter, blood.
And
yeah,
his
Yeah.
but
own
he's
man.
not
what's
just a
He
shooter.
needs
He's
that in
more
the
than a
team, man.
shooter.
step over and skills
He's
got to do with
definitely more
anything?
than a shooter.
He's got what's the step? Like the thing is, right? Is at the end of the day,
And he don't.
done. Sorry, what did you say?
No, go on. What was you saying?
No, I was saying, at the end of the day, if we're talking about skills and footballing ability, right, and just think actually you've got mad techers and you can do all these skills, they call that isn't Saka, right? But if we're talking about output and impact in the game, then he's not below. He's not below.
But it's opinions, bro. In my opinion, yeah,
Okay.
in terms of his ability and all of that stuff, he's
Yeah.
not on the same level as Salah, and he's not on the same level as a Rafinha. For me, he's a slightly below, and that's where, in my
Would you
opinion,
say
I say
Rodrigo's
he's
better?
on the road to becoming world class, but he's not quite there yet.
Yeah.
So he's saying, Tiny, you think Rafinha's
Tiny,
more
would you
class?
say Rodrigo's better?
I don't even really rate Rodrigo like that. I don't think he's world
No.
class.
Cool.
Like
Elise?
I can't lie. There's loads of different elements to this world class business, innit? So
Yeah.
it's difficult, innit? But I don't class a lot of players as world class now.
Yeah,
Full stop.
there's a lot of
And the players that
average
are
players,
world
It's
man.
class
changed.
are tramps above the other ones. Do you get me?
Yeah.
Personally, right? I think obviously we look at ability, like ability wise, personally.
Yeah.
Output is important. Like, you might just look like you're good, but if you're not scoring or assisting, what's the point, right? And then you look at impact and importance to a team, and do you step up in the big games, right? And do you do it in the big games, and can you do it against any team? Like, can you do it in Europe? Can you do it in local? Can you do it for your club? For your international? Can you do it? Right? And the funny thing is Saka has done it. All right, he's done it for England consistently, being a key player to England. He's the second highest goal scorer for current player for England right now. He stepped up during the Euros, right? And in big moments, he stepped up.
As a kid, he was still young as well.
He stepped up in Champions League this season and last season, right? Our second top goal scorer in the Champions League behind Havertz, right? This season, he's currently sitting on 18, right? In all competition, 18 goals and assists in 18 games in all competitions.
How many goals?
Right?
Do you know how many goals? Do you know how many goals and assists separately that is?
That's what I was asking.
Yeah.
This new thing that everyone does, goals and assists together, is so confusing to me.
Right? He's creating some of the most amount of chances in Europe, right?
Yeah.
And only other person is Odegaard, right? So for me, he won't pass the aesthetics one. So what does he have to do? Because it feels like unless our team, which isn't just Saka, right, wins something, no one's going to give him the respect he deserves.
Yeah, but he's part of that team, and you guys do need to win something. So it's a bit. I don't know.
Harry Kane was world class, and he didn't win nothing.
Yeah.
Even at
but
Bayern.
he was the top goal scorer in the whole league.
So
that's even worse, in my opinion. You can do all of that, and you still can't win.
So you're saying that
that's crazy.
If Saka finished this
he did everything to win the league. It's not his fault.
Yeah, he done his part. He done his part.
But Saka finished his top
because Saka
assist
didn't turn up because Odegaard didn't.
If Saka finished top goal, if Saka finished top assist in the whole league, top goal scorer in the whole league, we'll be in a different conversation. But he isn't.
But you see the
Kane didn't
benchmark
finish top
is crazy.
assists
The
neither.
benchmark
That's
is
crazy.
crazy.
But
But you know
Son
why?
has to do
But
the
he
most.
had
But
top
Kane done
goals.
one.
You know what? The
That's
thing is,
crazy.
right? The
That's
thing is,
crazy,
right?
guys.
The reason why the
Yeah.
benchmark is crazy because what sometimes, and this is what's happened many times throughout the years, is
Yeah.
winning a trophy, right, will make you overlook someone's actual contribution, right? When we look at some players and we look at players we might have labeled as world class, they didn't
Yeah.
score many goals throughout the years. They had one season where they killed it, and the rest of the seasons, they didn't really do much. If we look at Drogba, if we look at Hazard, right? These players, they didn't bang.
But
Not hanging
their
on.
influence was stronger in the games, though.
Right, cool. But what I'm saying is Saka scores in big games. He scored against every big six team. He scored against them. He scores or assists against them consistently, right? He's done it this season already.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm saying. People will talk about him stepping up, but he has actually stepped up. He is our top goal
Yeah,
contributor.
he's on the road to being world class.
He's not played every game, He's been injured, come back from injury. He is our vice captain at 23. And we're talking about a man that's if like, no, but he has to do why is there always more levels for him to do this? But these other people in other leagues, Rafinha. He was at Leeds doing nothing and was like,
Nothing.
No,
you know what?
Nah, he was spreading it up at Leeds. Don't try it.
What, 10 goals? 10 goals.
Huh?
Was that good enough to you say
No,
buddy up?
bro. He was at a terrible team, and he was
at a
doing
Yeah, he's at
doing
Leeds.
stuff
Leeds,
still.
Leeds is lower than
I don't
Arsenal.
know why. I don't know why the title's so important. I don't understand it. It's
This is what I'm saying.
fight for. It's nice to fight for, and
Arsenal,
obviously,
Arsenal,
you guys want the best for the players in your team and that. But there's some players it's undeniable, and for some reason, we could argue on why Salah hasn't been given the Ballon d'Or. But who cares?
Problem.
I don't
debate that.
Arsenal fans are
Would
too emotional,
Salah have
man.
won the Ballon
know.
d'Or?
They're a bit emotional.
Listen, I think with reference to Salah not getting the Ballon d'Or is a
Yeah.
bigger issue, and I don't even know if we're allowed to discuss that on this.
Yeah, fair.
But
Not today.
anyway, I'm gonna refer to a person that's gonna lead into the next topic, right? So after all of this, is Foden world class?
Nah.
Wait.
Yeah, but
That's
fair
hard.
enough, Kizzo.
That's
Fair enough,
difficult.
Kizzo.
He's been yeah.
I said this from early, though.
There has been times when we've been
Wait.
Sorry.
Okay, so kids, explain your reason for that. Using
I-
other references, go for it.
He doesn't score enough. He doesn't influence the game enough. Doesn't get many assists.
Foden.
And you got to look at it like he's been on the radar for the last 6-7 years now.
Mm-hmm.
I even think last year, I don't think that whole Player of the Year. I don't think he really warranted that, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Like he just, I don't know. For me, he just got given that title, and then everyone just ran with it. Like he's the best English generational talent and all of that stuff. Nah, man. He's just not that guy. Not for me, man.
Wow. Okay, so did Foden win anything?
Yeah, obviously City won a lot.
How many goals do you think he got last season?
Look how big the drop off is now.
I'm asking you a question.
Player of the season.
How many goals and assists do you think he got last season?
I don't know. How many did he get? 20 altogether?
27 and in all competitions and 12 assists.
That's good.
Yeah.
Is that bad?
Is that enough goals?
All right, so we're talking about that, but isn't Foden and Saka quite close in stats over their careers?
Now,
Yeah.
the reason why I'm saying it, right, is because Foden, if we look at what we just discussed about what world class looks like, right, and we say they've got to win stuff, they've got to step on the big stage, because there were some big games that Foden has scored.
Yeah.
You got hay fever or something? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Wiping the tears, bro. You lot need to stop crying about Saka, bro. Let him live, man.
Get a tissue, bro. Don't worry, right? But
stop crying about Saka, bro. It's all right.
Have you finished? Thank you. All right. So
Yeah.
what we if we look at what we just discussed, right, and we look at
Yeah.
Foden, we could arguably say, right, he's won the stuff. He stepped up in big moments. He scored
won
enough,
everything.
got enough assists, and he's done it over enough seasons consistently to potentially be labelled as world class. This season has been terrible, right, and that's why a lot of people are like, I've not seen this before. Like, this is a mad fall off. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, but,
That one's
yeah,
gone.
but it's
Contributed
been the
that,
whole team. It's not just him. It's been the whole team.
of course.
Phil
But like we
Foden's
said
been
though, players like him,
Personally,
when people
Phil
are out, they
Foden's
need
been
to
in
step up.
trouble. I don't think Saka's even.
personally, yeah. Personally, I thought the last few seasons, Saka
Yeah.
was closer to world class than. I mean,
Foden.
not Saka. Foden was closer to world class than Saka, in my opinion, because what Foden had been doing up to this point. Like I
Yeah.
said, I don't think this blip in Man City's form is due to any individuals. I just think the whole team's going through some stuff, and this is just part of what we're seeing, isn't it?
I think that even it might even be said that he's so good that Pep chose between him and what's the other lad's name? Palmer.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Palmer, if it wasn't for Foden, Palmer stays. No.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of says a lot. Kind of
Mhm.
said, and he's arguably the best manager the Prem has ever seen. So
So
there
the
must.
same for the England team as well, though.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
alright,
I mean, keep it real, guys.
City's firepower.
Sorry, what was the question?
Oh, is he frozen? Or is he there?
Definitely frozen.
Alright, cool. So personally, all right, I think what is I kind of agree and disagree at the same time. I think what the problem is for Man City personally is that one, like, Rodri was so important to protecting their forwards at what they do, because they know that he's going to sweep up everything. We're good. That actually they don't play with as much fluidity, and they can't go forward as much.
They don't have the safety.
Same way. Exactly, they don't have that safety net, and that's why I'm saying actually how important he was. And you know, if we look at Man City's trajectory, right, is when things started to get a bit difficult, they started playing against like difficult teams.
Yeah.
After losing Rodri, you could see that the result also took a turn, right? When they're playing against the average team, they will batter them, right? The average team in general, they will batter them, right? But if you play anyone with any kind of fight going forward, right?
Yeah.
So Tottenham, they have some decent attacking players. They go forward very gun ho, but they've got some good attacking players. All right.
I disagree with that, man.
What's that?
No, I'm saying you're saying like they got good attacking players. I think their attacking players ain't all that.
Who we took? City's attacking players aren't. You're saying, kids?
He's saying Tottenham. You saying Tottenham or Tottenham Man City?
No, I'm saying Man City's attacking players. Like, take out Haaland. Who else gets goals?
Cool. All right. So you're right.
I think that's easy to say without having De Bruyne in the team.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, but De Bruyne still don't get goals though.
But
his service is similar to Odegaard. He's just as
saying, like, in terms of like,
just as
important.
important.
Like, there's no one else that shares out the goals in a City team.
Cool. You're right.
To be honest, I think City's got a transition to go through. The players are getting old.
Immediately.
Yeah, but like, we're talking about not sharing out the goals, right?
Yeah.
Realistically, bro, why do you need to share out goals when you've got a guy who scores 40 goals in a season?
Yeah, you don't.
You're sharing out goals,
but they're not even assisting him now.
Score. You know, that's
creativity's been taken out. You're just seeing someone on the bench. Their creativity is on the bench.
They're not getting quality chances to Haaland in the way that they were getting them before, And now because Haaland feels like he's in his head, he's not slotting them away like he was doing before. Because remember, he top goal scorer in the season, and he scored 2 in 8. But he's top goal scorer because he slapped
Still.
in the first 6-7 games. Like, right? You know, he got 2 or 3 hat-tricks in those games. Like, so we have to remember that. But
and we have to respect it.
Yeah. If you're top goal scorer, who's basically the person who scores all your goals, stop scoring. Doesn't really matter what you do, because last season Jeremy Doku didn't have high scoring numbers or high assist numbers. But you know what? You can just spread out where that stuff's coming from, and it just means that as long as your top goal scorer is scoring, that's it. It doesn't matter. Once Haaland stops scoring, you're dead. Now, not only Haaland stops scoring, you can't protect your defense as well. Like, that is 2 major issues. The guy who needs to score is scoring. The person who's meant to protect the other team from scoring isn't there. Like, and I think Man City are at a stage where we also have to remember they have never been in this position before. I don't think they've been in position. None of them have been in this position as players. Maybe Nunes has been in this position because he played for Wolves. But
again, look, another whack player, man.
Sorry?
No, I'm just thinking that's another player, man. They're just not there, man.
None of them have lost that many games in a row. They don't actually know how to feel.
They don't know how to lose.
They don't know what to do.
But I hear how you're saying about the defensive side, bro. We don't know City to not have the ball. So what's all of this? Man, need a defensive, bro. They didn't even need defenders, bro. The majority of their time was kept.
Man City is in transitions, right? You're not going to have more ball than them. The turnover from defense into attack is how you beat Man City, right? And what keeps them happening?
Look at their. Go on.
What keeps them happening, right, is their defense is not as confident, so they're not as assured in possession. Look at how Liverpool got their last penalty, right? Ruben Diaz fucking around on the ball, gave him a shit pass to Walker, bad touch, the ball's gone, press, keeper has to take him down, right? They're not assured. Remember how press resistant Man City are. Think about it. You couldn't press them anywhere. They'll pass it around you.
Bro, I've been watching these men get 70-80% possession of everyone for the last how many seasons, bro? You get me? So regardless of Rodri, this is why I can't hear this excuse that everyone's got for Man City. Oh, Rodri got injured. Bro, these men don't let you have the ball.
They win it back so far. It's an onslaught.
Yeah. You got 5 seconds to get the ball back on all of them things.
This is why they had 6 prems. So yeah, I get
it. Look at it, right? You look at every team that's beat them so far, right? They win the ball, right? And then they swarm the box, right? Or they get it. The transition is extremely quick, and they can't deal with it. Before, they've dealt with it amazingly. Before, they keep the ball so well, actually in dangerous positions, that teams will just get tired, and then they get the transition from your defensive third into their attacking third is just too far, right? But right now, they look like a threat. So they're in possession, but they don't look like a threat. It's not moving slower. They don't look confident, not making penetrating runs. They're waiting for individual brilliance, and then whatever else happens.
And they always want to score the perfect goal as well, man.
Do you think? Yeah. Do you think that City are gonna win tomorrow? Are they gonna beat Forest?
I think they win.
Yeah,
you do.
Yeah, I think they win.
I'm not sure.
I'm not
the wave that they're on at the moment, I'm not even sure.
I think they win. I think personally, I think what Pep had done against Liverpool was terrible, right? Because what he tried to do is he tried to outsmart Liverpool by playing Nunes and playing
players that are not used to.
Bernardo Silva, instead of just going back to basics and having Savio, having Doku, pushing your left back and right back, and then just trying to feed thing. Like, I don't know what he was playing at. He tried, switched it up. They looked like they got a bit more, but he just tried to be smart, tried to be too smart. Go back to basics. Start the Bruyne. Yeah. Start your really, your most dangerous wingers.
Yeah.
All right. And yeah, just go back to basics against Nottingham Forest. Who
They thought we would run. They thought that Liverpool would run out of fluff. I think City thought at some point they would just time it and then just put on the danger, and it would happen. And there was a time just before the penalty, just before we got that penalty, where they were starting to gain a lot of possession and things looked a little bit techie. But it just and then Diaz flopped, and that's where all because it would have been horrible. Those last however many minutes, you get what I'm saying? So it's difficult, but for now, I can't guarantee, I can't say for the first time in how many years that City are going to easily win that. Not even easily. I don't know if City's going to win against Forest. I don't know.
I think
That's wild.
Look at, bro. Look at the Champions League, bro. They was 3 up.
Yeah.
How did they draw? Like, I don't know. Like this City team is going through some. I don't know if someone put some JoJo on them or. But
I reckon they got about 115 reasons to lose.
I think it was the FA Cup final. I think that the
Do you know what
stand
it
them in
is?
still.
But you
all that from the FA. What like
You know
when we done like when we done Liverpool.
Yeah, like then.
Bro, Man United stop everyone, man.
Yeah.
Done already.
City are actually they've got hold on. You look so City have got Palace, they've got Juventus, they've got United, they've got Villa. Oh, allow it. Oh my god. I don't know. They can lose another 2 games.
Villa. They won in like 8 games, bro.
Yeah, they're going for the same thing.
But you know, team though, like they'll just find form against you. So it's like, oh, you know what?
You know
we're
it.
gonna start losing games and win. Like, it's mad. But you know, just to wrap up the point about Man City, because I think we're going on for a while. Yeah. Personally, I think that January is going to be key to them because they've got good players, but the players they have are not scoring. Right? Doku's never been a high goal scorer. Right? Never. He's just a very dangerous player on the ball. So Savio to Girona, like, it looks like a player, and you can see why they got Savio. Like, he's obviously a decent player, but he's got 1 goal and 3 assists this season, which
rubbish.
Has he even got that?
Anthony 2.0.
Yeah. No, there's no such thing. Grealish is moving like Anthony 2.0, like, and he needs to score, or else he's gonna have a worse. He's gonna have a worse.
Andy's got more than him.
Yeah. I mean, Andy's not got anything, but the stats he had was, what is it? 1 goal, 1 assist that season, or that calendar year?
Whole season.
Yeah, it was something like that.
No, that was just in the Prem.
Yeah, just in the Prem.
He
Sorry,
scored a couple cup goals.
And the helicopter. Me or you?
Yeah. He scored a
Been
pen.
in top settings.
Yeah, he scored a pen in the FA Cup.
When has he got Chelsea? Have they got Chelsea anytime soon?
Who?
City? No, that's next year, isn't it? It's not even anytime soon.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so I personally believe that they are in a position where they need to, like, Jack Grealish needs to go. I think they might consider their position on Nunes. Like, I think they might do that. They need
a winger.
What's that? I thought you were centre mid.
Who?
Yeah, centre mid winger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wide players that can do anything.
Good.
Well, I don't know, man. I don't know how they feel. They might rethink Nunes. They might rethink Grealish.
Might come for Saka still.
And they probably, and you know, the difference between Man City last season and this season is, I'm going to say, a forgotten player is Alvarez. Now,
what a dumb acquisition to get rid of.
No, that was had to leave though, man. He needed to.
They thought they was Pepper. They thought they was Pepper.
Listen, Alvarez.
Nah, do you know what? Do you know what I think it was, Trim? He had to play, and
he's too good.
Haaland,
the fact that he had Haaland, he wasn't going to get the games that.
I bet you this.
I
hear you, but I bet you this. seeing these times when things were a bit techie for Haaland, he would have been scoring goals. He
Exactly.
just makes a way. He's one of
100%.
them players that
And you
makes
see
a way.
him, he's still slapping it up. I see him score the other day.
My days. Oh my days.
Over there.
All right.
Baller.
Because
But
the
yeah,
thing
man.
is we forget that Alvarez scored from being the second striker, being from the bench, sometimes playing as an attacking mid and behind Haaland or whatever.
Yeah.
He still managed to get 11 goals in the Prem and 9 assists, so 20 goal contributions, right?
He filled in for De Bruyne a lot, innit? Last season.
Exactly. He would be in behind the striker. Like they would get him in the team. Overall, he got 19 goals and 13 assists last season. So he got 32 goal contributions in 54 games. So they're missing that player. You know, someone is going to pop up. He's a different profile from Haaland. He's different. So I think like they don't realize how important it was to just not have one goal threat. They've got good players that are feeding Haaland, and I think they just thought, okay, let's find more players to feed Haaland, and we'll be fine. But I said,
but the players.
Haaland is injured. Listen, excuse my
Really
German.
No, but it's the drop off. It's the drop off of all the other players, fam.
What's that?
It's the drop off of all the other players. The obviously Gundogan went, but before Gundogan went, he was chipping in goals. Silva, he was chipping in goals. Foden,
when
he
it
was chipping
mattered.
in. All of these men that were chipping in goals ain't scoring at all now.
None.
And that's the problem.
But Bruno's not on the pitch. Well, to be fair, last season he was out. He was off the pitch for a long time as well. So
the brain is just getting back from injury and all of that. But I think in terms of there's so many players that ain't been performing this season, and that's the problem at the moment with their lack of firepower.
Do you know what team has been doing really well though? I think, and I think it's turned the corner. I think Chelsea's killing. I think Chelsea's been killing it. I think they've been doing really well.
Chelsea title contenders.
Yes. Yes.
You have to consider them title contenders.
I don't see it.
In the position they're in, definitely have to.
What about their position in the table doesn't make them a title contender?
I still think their defense is very, very weak. I think
there's so many games, and there's so many games to go, and they aren't good. And the new manager seems to have found an identity. They seem to be doing something that no other manager for a long time has been doing at Chelsea.
Okay. So, kids, I'm going to ask you a question. Who's got the best defenses in the league? You tell me.
Who's got the best defense
in the league?
Is more than one.
I'd say
top 4, top 3, 4.
Liverpool, Arsenal, maybe
someone was
United,
saying,
you know?
Man United, innit? Because Onana's got all of them clean sheets.
Yeah, I'd probably say Man United's third.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Liverpool, Arsenal, United.
Okay, cool. So the real least conceded goals, right, in the Premier League, Liverpool first, right?
Arsenal, Chelsea, Tottenham.
No,
Forest.
Nottingham Forest.
Arsenal, Chelsea.
Joint third with Man United, and then Arsenal, Chelsea. So
what's the order again? I didn't even hear that.
All right, Liverpool first, conceding 8 in total.
Forest.
Then it's Forest conceding 13, and then it's Tottenham and Man United.
Man United have got their defense.
Sorry, it's Nottingham and Man United.
Yeah,
and like if we're looking at just goals against, Arsenal, Chelsea, Tottenham, and Newcastle have conceded exactly the same amount of goals.
Says a lot.
So, what about Chelsea doesn't make them title contenders?
Like I said, I just don't feel like they're. I don't know. I just feel like the defense is still a bit. I don't know. This doesn't scream out solid.
Would you just say that you haven't seen them consistently enough?
Yeah, maybe that as well. I ain't really seen too much of Chelsea like that, but I don't know. I just feel like when the big teams are probably firing, they'll probably end up coming short.
do they currently have a better record than Arsenal? Yes.
And they got
No.
identical records at the moment.
Yes, they do.
Yes.
Yes, they do.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
They've actually got a better
I think
record.
the
So right
good
now,
thing for Chelsea right now is the fact that they have so many players. That anyone gets injured, they've got someone to come in.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably their biggest strength right now. But
Yeah, that crazy squad.
Sooner or later, man, they'll probably just be like Liverpool and just fade off, man. They'll just come back to Arsenal and City.
Chelsea have a nice sized squad, right? And they have England's best player. Supposedly, he was voted best player last season.
Yeah.
In Cole Palmer.
Yeah.
And they have a striker who's on form at the moment, on really good form. And they have Pedro Neto. They have Madueke, who's on good form as well. And they have Caicedo, who's playing out of the skin.
He played right back the other day. Just the other day, he played right back. Nah, man, he's a
good player, man.
Yeah, but now he didn't. I think Maresca's getting the best out of him now. But before he was all over the gaff, all over the jobby.
Yeah.
So maybe the price tag got to him too much.
So at what point, all right, do we consider them title contenders? Like, what do they have to do?
Continue doing what they're doing. Like I said, all right. So I said this. I said, all right. So are Arsenal title contenders?
Yeah. Chelsea are. I can't say Chelsea ain't and Arsenal.
Yeah, but Chelsea have got a better record. With the last 5 games, Chelsea have had a better record. So it has to be.
Chelsea,
the
you
same.
can hear the manager
They've
already.
got the same wins, the same draws.
He's not focused on winning the Premier.
They're exactly the same.
Focus on that.
Bro, I just on the same point. Yeah, and hold on. Over the past 5 games,
Chelsea's focus ain't that.
So you're just talking about current form. They're
no, you're looking at the 5 games, but over the whole season so far, they're exactly the same.
Okay, cool. The last 5 games I'm looking at,
they've got the same goals, same assists.
Yeah, but what I'm saying to you is, over the last 5 games, Arsenal have got 2 draws, 1 loss, and 2 wins. Chelsea have got 1 win, 2 draws, and 2 wins. No losses.
So their current form is better than Arsenal's then? That's
all I said. That was all I said.
No, you said their record's better than Arsenal's.
Have they beaten a top 6 team?
Are they? Sorry?
Have they?
Have they beaten a top 6 team?
Oh yeah, Man United's not top 6.
No, let's have a look.
Yeah, but they drew with us though.
They beat Aston Villa, were a top 6 team. They drew with Man United. They beat Newcastle. They lost to Chelsea. They drew with Nottingham. They beat Brighton.
Yep. Party.
Yeah, so I suppose they have beat a top 4 team.
So they ain't really had no big games yet then.
Well, they beat a top 4 team.
They played.
Like, you know, I'm talking about the branded top 4, man. Like,
but who is the branded top 4?
They played
Man
everyone.
United, Arsenal, Tottenham.
Oh, did you hear me?
I don't understand how that. Tell me that 4 again.
I'm saying the
Man United, Tottenham. No, I want to hear that 4 again. Who was that 4?
Man.
Who was the 4? Man United, Tottenham.
Hey, Kizzle, he lined you up with that one.
Wait. Oh, Kizzy, where's he gone? They haven't played Tottenham yet.
Oh, yeah,
I ejected him. I ejected him for that. That was some bullshit. Man said Man United first as well.
Then Tottenham. You guys are in the same bracket, you know. Man United and Tottenham are in the same bracket, but
13 Prem. Just remember that, man.
Yeah, congratulations. Do you know what it is? You had a point the other day, Kizzle, and you was talking about the Prems, yeah? And you're saying Arsenal ain't won, yeah? But I just want you to understand one thing.
What, 20 years?
Yeah, 100%. 20 years. No, you're absolute facts. But what I want you to understand is this: Arsenal and Man United ain't the same. Our history ain't the same as you said. Yeah. So let me land. So if we won 13 leagues, we would expect to win a league quicker than we have, as in 20 years. How we've only won a couple. Do you get what I'm saying? Only what is it? A couple of prems. Do you get what I'm saying? So we don't even have the history you guys do. So when you're saying raw, like you're comparing, we're not you. So you guys, according to your history, should be doing better. Liverpool, before they won their prem a couple of years ago, should have been doing better because of their history. Arsenal don't even have that. So your expectation of Arsenal, I love it, is really on this. You put Arsenal on the same pedestal as Man United, and I respect you for that. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like,
I
or how
We need to
is
do
it? Or are you just that desperate to try and just down us?
I'm not down in no team, man.
I'm just saying.
No,
Your team's
but
good,
hey,
man.
Ren, you lot are the second place boss. You lot are the second place boss.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's what it's
You
known for. We're
you
known
lot
for
been
being
coming
second.
second place.
That's
You see,
wrong.
you see when we
But
won
that's
all
what
of
we've
them
been known.
13
Man,
trophies,
for
yeah,
branding.
you lot was like,
Yeah, but I'm just saying. So all I'm put my point here
and you're just
is
following
that
suit now.
Yeah, it's difficult.
You're following suit now. You get me? Second place. It's just Man City and Liverpool and them men that are doing it right now. But when United get back to the top, I think you lot will be second still.
okay.
All right. So what? So
Key
what are
word
we
there was
saying? Are we
when.
saying? So if we
Are
go
we
around the
ready?
room, are we saying? If we go around the room, are we saying that Chelsea are title contenders? Renz, what you telling me, my brother?
Yep, I totally agree. Chelsea are title contenders.
Okay.
I don't
Kiddo,
really think that I reckon that's second place contenders because I don't think that Liverpool will drop it. But mathematically, it's possible.
it's still possible. Kizzle, what do you think? Do you think Chelsea are title contenders this season, my brother?
Nah. I think their target should be top 4. I don't think they're in for the Prem. No.
Okay, cool. And last but not least, what about yourself, Tiny Man? What do you think, my brother?
I think the position they're in, I can't personally say that they're not contenders because they're there and abouts in it at the moment. So for me, yeah, at the moment they are title contenders.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Hey, what? So you see, with the 9-point gap, yeah, Man United is obviously top 4 contenders. Then, yeah, we agreed with that.
No, it's your own opinion. You can't force
No,
that
but
upon people.
I'm
You have
asking
to
the group
ask.
now. I'm asking. Is Man
Personally,
United-
I have no expectations.
Nah,
Yeah,
no,
we got a new manager.
Wait. So Chelsea title contenders.
We have a new manager.
Man United 4 points behind now.
I don't.
Oh, sorry, title contenders.
No. Top four.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, easy. I think
would
so.
say Man United are title contenders because they have more room. They got 3 positions to fill. Like to be a champion, there's only 1 position to fill.
Yeah.
Whereas top 4,
But
it's
as
easier.
in top, you need to be in the top 3.
Though,
Well, there's 2 to 3.
Really,
2 to
they're
4.
aiming for 4th, innit? They're really aiming for 4th. I feel.
Do you know what? To be fair, depending on how the English leagues do, I believe they can also get a 5th spot as well.
Forget all of that. Man, I win Europa, blood. Yeah, man's gonna win Europa. That's the top 4 entrance. Yeah.
If a Prem team wins the Champions League, I think 5 teams would be nominated for the Champions League.
No, it's based on a point system.
Okay.
It's based on a point system.
Mm-hmm. Well, Man United definitely have an opportunity with so many games left. If they
the Europa winners, sorry, the Europa winners get Champions League still, no?
Automatically,
yeah.
And we're in Europa, so that's that.
Oh, so you guys are winning Europa?
Are you?
Where are
you guys in that section?
In the league, in the Europa League.
In the league, where are you in the league?
Why you got to worry about semantics, blood?
I know what I'm beating though. I know we ain't lost or nothing like that, but I don't even know.
I can't hear.
No, I'm saying I don't even know where we are. I just know that we haven't lost. But I don't know.
I said, why you got to worry about semantics, blood?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fair. All right. Well, back. We've said our part now. All I wanted to know,
we're not in the elimination zone. That's what I know.
That's a good thing. Can't lie. But gentlemen, winners and losers of the week. Who are your or lot of last week? Tiny, who are your? Let's wrap it up. Who are your winners and losers for last week?
Well, my winners, I don't get to say Man United often, so my winners of the week, Manchester United. Whoop, 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 whoop. Losers, even better, I get to say City again. Man City, Pep. Pep looked like someone scratched his head or something when I see his interview after. It looked so funny.
Someone, and then the man started talking about self-harm to
he looked stressed. But Man United winners, Man City losers.
Yeah, all in the same town.
Yeah, I'd say Man United. I'd say Man United for the winners of the week. It was nice in the group for them not to be crying. Do you get what I'm saying? For once.
Whoa.
Sorry, I didn't interrupt you. Please. Yeah, and no, it was just a 4-0. They didn't concede. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Kinsel can go on and talk about the new manager becoming the new Pep and all of them thing there. So it was refreshing change. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
And the Mourinho.
Yeah, something so. Yeah, and losers, Man City have to be the losers of the week, man. It's just, even though they was expected to lose, but in the fashion and the behaviours of what's going on, it's not really nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Kizzle, your winners and losers.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna sound like a broken record parrot. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Man United as the winners.
Okay.
4 goals. Nice. Never done that under 10 goals. Clean sheet. Everyone used to laugh at Onana. Man's top of the table when it comes to clean sheets, golden gloves. You know what I'm saying?
Again.
And then he's top.
Again, he can get it again. He can get it again.
Nah, man, clean sheets, man. That's what we do around here, man.
Yeah, I love that.
And losers, obviously, got to be City. What's that? Was that 6 in a row that they lost, or?
Nah, they won in
Europe between.
Yeah.
No, was it? Oh no, yeah, they drew 3-0 in it.
So they haven't won in 7, but
to this day,
yeah, man. City definitely losers, and long may it continue.
Cool. All right. My winners. I would say, I think that my winners are Man United. Can't lie. Done well. New manager come in, did their thing.
Clean sweep.
Didn't concede anything like that. And losers have to be none other than Man City, because they got a conking from the mighty Reds, the mighty Liverpool, and you never walk alone. You get me? So feeling happy about it. I know kids looked down and didn't look too happy, but I'm happy with the win. He's it, and that's all that matters. But yeah, man, big up everyone. What I wanted to say was shouts out to kids for coming through and shining some light on the crowd. You know what I'm saying? Big up man like Tiny Godfather. Thank you, my brother. Obviously myself.
The Arsenal fans all got shook.
Yeah, and all ran away.
When they watched this back at the end, remember I said it, you lot are punks. Stop whinging, don't want to hear the tears. Renz didn't even want to hear my reply to his little shot that he tried to do. But you keep crying, you babies.
So yeah, but I wanted to shout please everybody, thanks for tuning in. Anybody that's viewed the actual pod, please share, like and subscribe. Shouts out to Full Time Sports Network, to Coleman the team, big up yourselves. And we are out. And don't trip on the way out. Big up yourselves, peeps. And don't trip. That's it, man.
Bless up, kids. Bless for passing through as well, kids.
Double bass recap.
Yo.